Good day, beautiful people. This is Yada, and Yada does a lot of relationship talks. I did a video before, and he was talking about 50-50 relationships. I'm going to tag that in this as well. But Yada also does nutritional wellness. But this particular post was about absent fathers. It says, "Dear absent fathers, never assume the mother taught the child to hate you. Children can see when a father chooses not to be involved in their lives. Stop blaming mothers for poisoning your kids against you. Your absence is the real poison. If your fathers didn't teach you, I am. NDBA, no dusty bombs allowed." Okay, there are many parts to this, all right? Just like in relationships in general, there are many parts to it, many moving pieces. However, this is very true. Speaking from personal experience, my son's father and I had our issues for sure. It was a tumultuous relationship, and eventually the relationship ended. And after the relationship ended, later on down the road, he ended up passing away. So I raised my son alone. But this is such a terrible and a situation and a hard topic, because fathers are so needed in these children's lives. And I don't think a lot of men really realize it, even though they too probably have gone without a father and saw how their life went without a father. But for some reason, they can't just grip it and try to change that narrative. Unfortunately, for some of them, I should say, a lot of them do decide to change that generational path and change that narrative, but some don't. And for those who don't, there's something to be said about that. And unfortunately, sometimes the mother gets blamed for poisoning the children against their father, talking about the father to them. Now, granted, that this does happen sometimes for whatever reason, because she's jealous that he moved on, he has a new wife, he has more children out there somewhere, or he just does not want to be with her. Whatever the case, yes, that is true sometimes, that the women do talk badly about the father to the children, and I do not advocate for that. I do not support that at all. But I'm going to dare to say that even if that was the case, and in the cases where that does not happen, some fathers just truly choose to be absent from their children's lives, whether it's shame, or they don't feel that they have anything to offer, or they just don't want to be involved in any way or communicate with the mother. If the child just brings up too many bad memories, whatever the case, a lot of fathers are choosing just to be totally absent from these children's lives. And it's really painful and sad to watch and to see. But the other part to that is that children are not stupid. Even if the mother never says a negative thing about an absent father, the children can actually see his absence, and they can feel his absence. His absence is palpable. It's palpable emotionally, spiritually, socially, mentally, any type of way you want to think. It affects a person. It affects a person, because as human beings, we know when something is missing. We feel when something is missing, even though we may not know exactly what it is. It's just inherently in us to want that connection and that bonding, and to know that there's more to this. Children know that it's more than just mom, it's more than this just dad, because they're going to see it out in the world. They're going to see other children with two parents. They're going to see other households function and how they function and how they have balance. So if a mother never talks badly about her child's father, the child is going to always feel and see that and come to their own conclusions. And again, speaking from my own experience, I never spoke ill of my son's father to him. Never, ever. As my child got older, into his teenage years and into his 20s, if he asked me a question, I was honest about it. But I never, ever, ever bad mouthed or volunteered information that would put his father in a bad light. Because first of all, his father wasn't here anymore to defend himself or tell his side of the story. And second of all, I already knew I didn't have to do that. I knew that when my child got older, he would hear the stories from his father's own family. It didn't have to come from my mouth at all. He would get it and he would know it. So I didn't feel it was my place and it wasn't fair and it wasn't my responsibility to air out my son's father's dirty laundry per se, and to expose him to all of the negative and bad things that happened between him and I in our relationship that absolutely had nothing to do with my son. Because children just should not hear certain things. I don't care. I don't care how mature you think they are. I don't care how angry you are. Children should not hear certain things coming from the mouths of adults. It doesn't make any difference, and it's not valuable to do in any way. But I also give this advice to my friends who are dealing with the fathers of their children. I say, you don't have to speak negatively of him. You don't have to talk about him. And if you do end up talking about him in the presence of your child, you need to catch yourself. Catch yourself, because your child is going to look at you negatively and see that you are being petty or you're not mature, and you don't want that. The child is going to see exactly what their father represents. They're going to see the absence of their father. They're going to see everything that their father is not doing. They're going to see his character and the type of person he is over time. And people discredit children. They don't understand that children are extremely intelligent, and they're not dumb and they're not stupid, and it doesn't matter the age. Even newborns can feel tension, they can feel anger, they can feel love. So imagine once a child gets older and they can truly see different emotions in your face and hear the emotions in your tone. They truly don't need you to say anything at all. They can see it and feel it for themselves. Children will tell you when they don't want to be around someone. They will tell you if they don't want someone touching them, because children are very sensitive spiritually. So let me know what you all think about this post. Is this true? Do a lot of mothers badmouth fathers of their children? Do most mothers or some mothers teach their children to hate their fathers? Or poison their kids against their father? Just let me know what you think about this particular topic. I really want to know, but I've given you my spiel on it. And Yada, he really brings a lot of things to the forefront. And for what it's worth, I think he kind of revs up a lot of different emotions in men. And I think that can be good and bad, but I think it's mostly good, because the people that are riled up about it, I believe more so than not that they are the actual people that need to hear it, and they are the actual people committing the offense. But if you don't already know who Yada is, go and look him up, see what he's about. And if you haven't already subscribed to my channel, please do so and leave me your comments, questions, or concerns. You all be blessed.